Yo, what is up, everybody? Resco back again. Another story from the collection titled The Shadow Dies Loudly, written by T.L. Oberhu. Remember to use the links in the description to show love to the author. Like, comment, and subscribe. Story 3: The Greatest Film Ever Made. Ben was 10 years old, and he knew nothing. He was the son of doctors and the big brother of Mary, who was severely handicapped. She was born deaf and blind. Her parents assumed she was also mute. Years later, when they would watch the greatest film ever made, they would learn she could make some noises. Ben was quite the troublemaker. He had this little habit of ripping off tags off women's bras whenever his mother took him to the department store. He liked how the breasts look on the little pieces of paper that he would quickly shove into his pockets. At school, Ben tried to give his female classmates his fruit snacks in exchange for a quick look up their skirts or under their shirts. Nobody caught Ben, however. Even he was surprised that no one ever told on him. So, this continued. Unchecked, unbalanced, and undisciplined. Ben was 11 years old and knew a few things. His older cousin Dylan frequently babysat the little boy and his sister. While Dylan watched the kids, he would watch funny movies on the computer sometime, but Ben wasn't allowed to watch the funny movies. One night, Ben creeped downstairs and finally saw the funny movie. He didn't know what was happening, but he liked it. A man and a lady were naked? How hilarious. He saw Dylan staring at the screen, smiling with a blanket over his lap. He saw a lot of movement under the blanket. Ben was curious what he was doing, so he asked Dylan. Dylan jumped and screamed. He looked really scared, said a lot of bad words at Ben, started to cry. Dylan told Ben that if he didn't tell anyone, he'd let him watch more funny movies with him. Ben liked the funny movies, so he and Dylan pinky promised, and Ben never told anyone. Ben was 16 years old. He knew a lot. Dylan was pretty old, but he wasn't lame like the other adults. He gave Ben his various passwords for the various websites he was a member of. Ben would wake up early, watch some online movies, get ready and go to school, watch some more movies when nobody was looking, go home, watch movies, and pass out in a pile of sweat and filth. A lot of the ladies in the movies seemed happy. A few didn't. Ben liked when they weren't that happy. One day, Dylan told Ben about a few secret websites. You had to toy around with your PC where you could watch all kinds of movies. Some of them were even illegal. Ben thought that was wrong, but he was curious. He downloaded some stuff and had access to all kinds of the most fucked up shit imaginable. Ben was 18 years old. He knew everything. First, he knew about the videos where the lady was tied up. Then, he found out about the ones where the lady would eat a living goldfish or stomp on a small animal. Then, Ben found rape videos. Ben knew it was fake, but he wanted more. He hadn't seen Dylan in a long time, and he wouldn't answer his phone. Ben found out about some incredibly bizarre videos one day. The lady would die at the end. Literally, Ben would watch the lady's face turn red as she gasped for air in an erotic mix of pain and suffering, all while the cum would bubble up out of her bleeding mouth. Ben watched these videos several times a day. Then he got bored of those too. He wanted to make his own. Mary was 12 years old and knew nothing. Literally nothing. Ben knew she was fucking retarded and cost too much money to have her around the house. He was thinking of his parents when he decided to make the greatest film ever made. He made the film, cleaned up, and disposed Mary. Later, his parents would find the greatest film ever made. Ben had to get out. He was in danger. He stole his dad's car and just drove, not caring where he ended up. He drove so long that the car just stopped working. He was stranded until a truck full of young men stopped by and offered assistance. They drove him to an old barn where they made a bunch of movies. After 5 hours of pain and humiliation, Ben collapsed in a puddle of tears and blood. He rolled over, and the last thing he saw was one of the young men slowly walking towards him with a chainsaw. And that was how the truly greatest film ever made ended up in some poor and demented bastard's basement, where he later uploaded it to the internet. Now, Ben got to be in his own funny movie, and it would be somewhere out there forever. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our story.